And I have asked, today I've asked one of our group members to share for us today. And I am looking forward to hearing her. I have always enjoyed what she has to say. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself up and let Melissa take over. Okay, you're up.
Thank you. So Melissa, alcoholic. I'm so nervous. So I've been sober since September of 1984, and I had to pick a day because I had relapsed so many times. I don't really know exactly when. I know that September 22nd was a safe date, actually 21st. And so just where I came from, I was the daughter of a alcoholic mother, very gregarious, artistic, wanted to be an actress, met Margaret Hamilton and Lucille Ball, very much a character, but also anxious, alcoholic, raging alcoholic. Later pills came in. And then my father was kind of a recluse, or not a recluse, perfectionist, workaholic, unavailable, and they fought like hell most of their whole marriage, but and they stayed married. So I guess it really set in. I think I was a pretty happy child until we moved, and we moved from the house my mother had grown up in Framingham, Massachusetts, to Connecticut, and I think she just kind of collapsed into depression, high drinking, depression, anxiety, and I instantly became kind of shy and paranoid, and well, not, I don't know, paranoid, but got fat. That's how I dealt with it. My sister had done so already. So jump ahead to like 13 years old. My sister was a hippie, and it was in the early 70s or late, whatever it was. And so she shared her pot with me. So every afternoon I would deal with my anxiety with getting stoned and eating. And then once high school hit, then the binge drinking came into it. So I really had all three, and I think I staved off worse bottoms because I balanced it, not letting, well, they did get out of hand, but I think that buffered me from some of the worst. So I also went into 12 years of bulimia, which I can't believe I'm saying out loud in a mixed meeting, but there it is. So I was in Boston, living with a alcoholic boyfriend from college, our venturing out to be adults, and met this woman at work who was, she didn't even drink coffee, she didn't smoke, she just seemed so perfect. How could I have anything in common with her? And we took a walk around Boston after work one day, and she just filled out her whole story with food, alcohol. I don't remember, the drugs was there too. Took me to my first OA meeting, and I just hadn't really known there was a way out. I just felt like I had to hide this horrendous life I was leading, which was very restricted because I was living with a boyfriend. I just didn't really get anywhere with it until I moved several years later to Burlington, Vermont, and I guess so when I think about hitting bottom, or step one, I knew my life was unmanageable. I was just filled with shame, this whole hidden life, but I didn't want to quit drinking. I didn't want to give up what I got from drinking pot and the food, which was the sedation, the buffer, that initial high, which didn't last long. You know, you take that second or third drink and it's already gone, and you can't get it back. But I didn't want to give it up, and it wasn't, you know, and I think I struggled with that. I knew my life was unmanageable, but I still got the payoff from my addiction. So in Burlington, Vermont, you know, you could walk everywhere, tons of meetings, wonderful, kind of progressive. It wasn't heavy on the God stuff. Just very supportive people. And it was there that I saw that there was a way out. Like, I saw these people I could relate to. They had the same, you know, fear and anxiety and out of control lives that I had, and yet they were sober. They were staying sober, and it was just, you know, it made all the difference. But I still would have relapses, a lot of relapses, and I'd go for, basically it was just when I got together with my family of origin, my parents visiting out at my sister's, and it wasn't until, you know, I just hit that bottom. I realized that that I had to put everything ahead of sobriety, which meant not spending the holidays with my family. Like, I just had to be willing to go to any lengths. And of course, I didn't come up with that. People in AA kind of nudged me toward that. And the other thing is that I wasn't going to just give up my drug and then feel overwhelmed all the time. Like, I had to learn how to manage my stress, and that's where even traditional really just saved me, because all those things that I was learning, like stay in the day, like I have a list of things, think the drink through, don't romanticize it, you know, remember where it leads up to, which is, you know, just humiliation and guilt, and this too shall pass. Stay in the day. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't shoot on yourself, because of course I was always filled with remorse and self-judgment. And let go. And I tried, let go and let God. I tried and tried and tried, but, you know, after a while it was just let go. I don't have to carry the world on my shoulders. I'm not. It's a figment of imagination that I'm controlling anything. So, you know, just practicing all these new behaviors, and halt, don't get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. It didn't dawn on me that what was involved in the setups to relapsing or to my dependence on all of it. And I learned from other people in traditional. And, you know, perfect is the enemy of good, because I was such a perfectionist, and I just learning new ways of thinking, because at heart I was a catastrophizing, fearful pessimist, but I was learning there were other ways to look at things and not to believe my thoughts. Like I had to question my thinking and look for the good, look for what I could be grateful for, or what was okay. And so I guess another thing about relapsing is the two, you know, people would say, oh, I went out because I started thinking I could have one glass of wine. Well, that was not my problem. Mine was, I don't care, F it, you know, or I'll start tomorrow. You know, I can just really blow it all tonight because tomorrow I will start, you know, make resolution. And those were both lies. Well, that was a lie. And then, you know, I had to work on caring, like, and people in the program helped me with both of those. So, I guess I might wrap it up pretty soon. So traditional AA got me sober, definitely. I did leave the meetings for 9 years. I was up in Vermont still, but it was still, even there, too Christian and too repetitive, like the readings over and over. I would go to the meetings late just to avoid the long big book reading or whatever. And but I didn't drink somehow. But I did lose sight of some of what I had gained. Like I stopped looking at my side of the street. I got more heavily into blame and resentments, and you know, I ended up divorcing years later. But I missed what I had gotten from the camaraderie and the belonging and the support, but I just couldn't take the God stuff. And then we moved to Virginia, which is a conservative. I felt like I was in the Bible Belt. I'm not really, but I'm on the edge. But you know, my husband got a teaching job, which brought us down here. We had good insurance finally, but the counseling sessions ran out, and I met somebody who brought me back to traditional AA, but then that was way back, you know, we moved here in '99, and again I was approaching, I tried to believe in something. Well, it's energy, it's like the sun, it's like love. Of course I can believe in love or benevolent fate. Like I kept struggling to come up with some kind of higher power, but none of those definitions, the woods, the natural environment, none of those were going to be that interventionist God that so much of the literature points to. So I was really veering toward leaving again until through one person who I occasionally see in these meetings, she's moved away, mentioned secular online meetings, and I didn't look into it until COVID hit and we were doing local online meetings, and then just the world opened up. And so traditional got me sober, but secular is keeping me sober. And I mean, just the insights, like you're not restrained to these narrow little topics, the literature that I've been introduced to, you know, like We're Not All Egomaniacs, Jeffrey Munn's book. There's just such a resource of wisdom and up-to-date, scientifically informed thinking. And so I guess now that I'm sober, still sober, retired, lots of time on my hand, new phase of life, a lot of isolation. You know, it's secular that's keeping me growing and keeping me sober and keeping me, you know, I was so stressed by my job, but I can make retirement a stressful thing. I mean, I can turn anything into any kind of lifestyle into, you know, beating myself up, stressed out, whatever. So I thank you all for listening, and I don't even know how long I've talked, so I will stop and open it up and just no real topic. I just, you know, how to cope with life without turning to substances. Thank you.